So, Kim, the first 2 days are becoming a behavioural detective. And I just wanted to tease out a little bit more about what's in each day.
Mm,
Day one looks like there's a real focus on behaviour as communication, understanding the brain, arousal, and sensory interventions, or understanding what is sensory. Can you talk a bit more about day one?
I can. When I started to understand the brain and the term arousal became something very important to begin to observe and understand as a foundation for behavior. And arousal is the energy that lives in our brain and our body that allows us to adapt to meet the demands of the task and the environment. And some people struggle with that. Some people struggle with dialing up or dialing down their level of energy to connect to the world around them. And this is affected by sensory processing. It's affected by developmental trauma and attachment. It's affected by emotional regulation. It's affected by cognitive processes. It's affected by circuitry in the brain that impacts our motor system. And all of these different pieces come together and help you to manage your response to the world so you can communicate what's going on inside of you. And so understanding these little pieces are parts of the spokes on the wheel.
Thank you. That's quite a lot to cover in day one already. And day two, we're branching out more. You touched on it just before, being trauma sensitive, understanding the impact of trauma on behavior, sensory systems, and relationships, understanding attachment patterns, co-regulation. And I know that you speak a bit more in the courses you've run so far, attunement, maybe understanding aggressive behavior, understanding self-harm, some of the practical clinical presentations that participants might see in their work.
And one of the big aspects of day two, and something that gets carried over into day three in a big way, is how I become my best self when I show up to be in that co-regulating role, and how that piece of me impacts my capacity to step in and be with challenging behaviors that might dysregulate me. So an understanding of not only the other, but also of myself as a piece of the therapeutic toolbox that I bring to the situation.